Hey y'all, it's your girl Danielle tuning in this thing, you know what I'm saying? And today I wanted to talk about the topic of how much I was a pick me, choose me female and I didn't even know it, bruh. Like, I led myself into the most toxic relationships and I willingly played a role in that. You know what I'm saying? At some point I fought for it. I didn't let them go. Like, I had opportunities to not have to deal with shit and I dealt with it because the fear of being alone. But more than being alone, it was me wanting somebody to choose me wanting to feel like I was a priority to somebody. I think it all started when my mom and dad separated. When my mom and dad separated during this time, like, I was a super daddy's girl. Like, always wanting to be with him. I don't care where he going. We was just going to store runs. We was going to Walmart runs, whatever. I wanted to be with him. And when they separated, me and his relationship literally just stopped. Like, at first it was still kind of here and there, but he wasn't living with us, so it was different. But then when he got his first girlfriend, I really was not even like, our relationship completely changed. And I think I started internalizing it because I was like, he chose her over me, you know what I'm saying? And I thought at the moment that during the time I didn't care. And it didn't start turning into something toxic for me until I got to high school and I started dating and I had a boyfriend. And then I would realize, like, you know, oh, I fell in love with being chosen and being made a priority and somebody making me feel special. Like, I didn't know how much I yearned for that until I had a boyfriend at the time, and I was just like, this is what I had been wanting, to the point where those relationships would get so toxic, but I was so in love and addicted to having somebody choose me and make me a priority and making me feel special, to the point where if I found out they was flirting with other girls or doing something, I literally went completely off because I felt like, okay, like, I'm being betrayed. And I think the deeper thought of it was like, I'm about to lose this person. And with me losing this person, I'm going to lose that feeling of feeling loved. I'm going to lose that feeling of feeling chosen. I felt like at the time my mom had her relationship, or she had her love with her sons was stronger. I felt like, you know, my dad chose his girl. I didn't have nobody who was choosing me. I didn't have nobody who was making me a priority. Who gonna make me happy? You know, so I'm just searching for that in other people and somebody else. And once I got that, I was so scared to lose that I had rather accepted fake love, or love that I knew wasn't real or wasn't healthy, over not being loved at all. Like, and that lasted 4 years. That lasted from the time I started dating from high school until literally I started healing myself. I felt like till I was 29 years old. Okay. I mean, I've had my share of toxic relationships, you know, for another video, but I've dealt with stuff that people don't know about me. You know, the closest people don't know the things that I've dealt with, that I've gone through, because I was embarrassed, because I didn't want people to know the truth, because I was better at putting up a front of like, oh, I know what's best for me and ain't no nigga gonna treat me like this or treat me like that, and behind closed doors they was doing me like that and treating me like that, you know what I'm saying? But and deep down what's sad is that I knew I knew it wasn't love. I knew that it wasn't healthy. I knew it wasn't what I wanted, but I did not want to not feel like I was being chosen. It was just a void that I did not know how to deal with. I wasn't ready to deal with. So I would accept that from anybody and allow anybody to give that to me, okay? No matter how toxic, no matter how much I knew that wasn't the person I wanted, you know? Okay, and I'm saying that even though at the time I was in love, I would be in love with the person, or so I thought, I would be in love with the person. So it wasn't what I wanted, but in my head, I'm telling myself like, nah, it was me making excuses like, oh, they are what I want, but right now they can't be that because we're still young, they still in the streets, or, you know, it's the people that they kick it with, or it was the way that they was raised, they gonna grow out of it. You know, it was making a lot of excuses for the person who couldn't love me right. They couldn't love me right because it was something else interfering with that. It wasn't just what it was. It just wasn't what it was, that they wasn't meant to be for me. I put myself through a lot of stuff that I didn't have to go through, that I would never regret now because I know exactly why I went through it. You know what I mean? But it took me having to go through every toxic relationship and blaming somebody else for me to realize that it was me the whole time. Like, I was like, hold on. I kept on hearing that quote, like, if something keep on happening, and it's like, if you the common denominator of a situation, then maybe you need to relook at a situation as it's not everybody else. And that's when I started being like, okay, let me really get real with myself. If none of my relationships are working out, it can't be them. It's me. And it's the people that I'm choosing that is the problem. So what helped me really heal from this, because I am healed from it now, is from literally sitting down one day and going through, you know, my thoughts. And it was my worst relationship I had been in. Stuff had happened in that relationship I had never been through. And I had really sat there and was just like, is this really what you want? Like, is this relationship and for this person to treat you like this really what you want? Like, when I tell you that this person would be, one day, what really had woke me up was like, is this what I want? One day I was painting and I was sitting on the floor right by their leg and I'm painting, and some paint accidentally got on their jeans. And when I tell you, I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And when I tell you, they was like, bitch, what's wrong with you? What the fuck? You got this shit on my jeans. You gonna have to buy me some new ones, bitch. Da, 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 da. And I was like, damn, you calling me a bitch because of all of that? Like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get paint on your pants. And they literally went off. And I'm not the person that be like, oh my God, you call me a bitch. I can't believe you. Like, I'm going off right with you. So I'm like, you a bitch. Fuck you. Da, da, da. Fuck them jeans. Da, 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 da. And it was just like pure chaos and toxic. And one day I was just like, damn, like, I gotta walk on eggshells around this person because, like, I got paint on your jeans. Like, and that time it was just like, you really a broke nigga. You really that mad that them really your favorite jeans, your only pair of expensive jeans, and it ain't the fact that I got paint on them. You mad because you can't afford them jeans again. That's really what I knew. That was the real. I knew that. Okay. But that situation, and of course, we had gone through so many situations just like that. I had sat there and asked myself, bruh, this the type of nigga that you entertaining right now? It's like, is this really the type of person that you want? Like, I had to really be like, bruh, at this point, you stupid. You just being a stupid female. You been one of them females that you tell everybody not to be. And you're being that right now. So during that time, I had went through a process where I was just like, okay, I need to first of all break up with this person. So I'm plotting in my head how I'm gonna break up with this person. We was living together, and I was just like, okay, I gotta get this person out. But what I wanted to do different this time was I wanted to make sure that I did it a healthy way. And this is when I felt like God was really in my life. God was really trying to talk to me. And I had never really listened before, but this time I was listening because it was somebody who treated me the worst I had ever been treated, had taken me so outside my character than I had ever been, but I was still trying to do things the right way. And God was doing this, bro. God was interfering. But at the time, I didn't know. I just knew that I was like, the way I've been doing things has not been working for me. I'm so tired of being toxic. I am so tired of it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe if I change the way that I do things this time, then I'll get different results. When I tell you that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. And looking back, I know that it's all God's work, bruh. It was all God's work. And I was listening this time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm so grateful for it, bruh. But during this time with this person, breaking up with this person, and I made a video about this, like how to break up or escape or some shit like that. It was a video like that. But like with this person, I had did things different than I had ever did it before. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be mature about it. I don't want to be like, fuck you, you old bitch, and then like da 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 da, because it was just like, bruh, that was, I think, was making me go into another cycle, toxic. So I was just like, I'm ending it mature. And in the midst of finding ways to do it the right way, and I was really seeking God to help me without knowing, right? I started asking myself during the time, and after I had finally broke up with this person, I had never asked myself this, but I was like, Danielle, what do you want? What do you really want? Like, do you want to keep going through relationships to where you are not really the priority, or that you have to worry about if they really solid with you, or do they really love you, or you got to worry about them not coming home, or is that really what you want? Because you could do so much better. Like, I see women around me who are doing so much better, who are in love, and it's like, what are they doing different? And the first thing that I told myself was like, bro, I gotta stop being disrespectful to the dudes who I'm with. Like, I gotta stop being disrespectful. I gotta start expressing myself and communicating in a healthy way, not just like, I just knew I had to change. And in the midst of me saying, what do I really want? I started really being like, I don't think I want somebody who, I know I don't want somebody who get mad so easily, or could call me a bitch, you know what I'm saying? Or I don't want somebody who is emotionally immature. I don't want somebody who is these things, and I'm going through it. And then I started saying like, hold on, but you are all these things. So you saying you don't want none of this, but that's what you are. So I had a wake up call like, bruh, I'm trying to attract somebody who I'm not even capable of being. And that's when I had my wake up call like, bruh, I'm the unhealthy one. I'm almost the abusive one. And I was attracting that. I was unhealed, and I'm attracting unhealed people, bruh. And that was my real wake up call. Like, I keep going into these toxic relationships because I'm wanting to be so much of a priority that I'm accepting it from anybody, when at the end of the day, bruh, I need to love myself, and I need to seek God, bruh. I need God to lead me, and I need to ask him, what is best for me? And then I'll know what's best for me. And I literally started pouring myself into myself. I stopped pouring myself into somebody else. I stopped pouring myself into the idea of somebody else. I stopped pouring myself into the potential that somebody else could be. And I started being like, you know what? If somebody don't fit all the criteria, then they just not for me. I'm no longer accepting less. I'm no longer making excuses. I'm no longer willing to wait for somebody to meet me there. You need to already be there. Okay? And before I ask for that, I'm gonna make sure I'm there. So I want to make sure that I got a car. I'm gonna make sure that I got an apartment. I'm gonna make sure that I come at you with kindness. I'm gonna come at you with love. I'm not gonna disrespect you, you know. And I realized, like, bro, the next relationship that I'm in, I'm not accepting nothing less than what I want, and I'm not gonna be nothing less than what I want, or period. And right when I changed that mindset and I told God what I really wanted, which I had never done before, I actually went to God with it first, instead of me being like, oh, this is what I want and I know what I want, and then being proven wrong. I was like, you know what, God, I want you to choose the person for me. And I just know that the way that I'm gonna go about it is that when I get them, I'm gonna treat them the way that I want to be treated. And then going forward, bruh, that's when God blessed me. And it was just like, you know, the whole time he was waiting for me to admit it to myself and to really wake up and be like, bro, the whole time you've been trying to blame everybody else, but it was really you. The whole time you was making excuses, and it was really you. The whole time you was just so wanting to be loved that you was accepting it from anybody, and instead of getting it from me. Instead of getting it from yourself, bruh. I really had a realization like I did not love myself. My nose is so tickling. And every time I feel like I speak about God and I'm super in the moment, my nose tickle. And I'm just like, okay, that must be like the spirit with me, right? Anyway. I woke up and I allowed God to lead me. And I allowed God in my life. And I no longer was too prideful of that, thinking that I knew what was best for me, thinking that I knew what I wanted. And that was the changing point in my life, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, bruh, you know, I look now at young girls and I'm just like, oh, I see the you know, the hope that you have. Like when you want something or when you think you want something, you will make excuses for it. You're gonna be like, oh, I want this dude. You might think you want this dude because of whatever reasons, and it'd be like, bruh, is that really what's best for you though? Do you really know what's best for you? And then you know, I was looking at this podcast where this woman was saying like it was a dude who was telling her like, oh, you gonna be my baby mama, like you gonna be the mother of my child. But in that she heard, you want to be with me forever. I'm going to be with you forever. You going to be mine forever. I'm going to take care of you. You going to be my wife. And then she was like, I had a realization like he never said that. I said that. He said, I want you to be the mother of my child. That's all he wanted from that. But she seen something else. And it's like, we will make excuses. When we want something, we want it so bad, instead of willing to wait for it, or instead of willing to seek God to find it for us, we going to make it fit. Even it's making a square fit in a circle. And then when things don't go right, you trying to figure out what's going wrong. And instead of turning to God with it and being honest with it, you're going to make excuses for it. And that's where we go wrong. But that's just where my mind was today. That's just where my mind was today. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the next video. I love y'all. Finna go grocery shopping, you know what I'm saying? And run some errands. Love y'all. Peace.